Hi, and welcome back to Self Care Black Girls, a podcast where we relax, sip tea, and chat about bettering ourselves as black girls. I'm BB, and I'll be helping guide you to make better choices in your daily lives. So, welcome back to another episode. I apologize if this episode sounds a bit rushed. I didn't realize until late last night that I never finished pre-recording this volume before classes start, and the last week's episode was the last one I had pre-recorded. So I'm recording this the morning of. So hello, it is currently 9:15, and I have a class at 9:40. So it's too early to do math. Excuse me, I'm not sure how much time is between now and 9:40, but that's how much time I'm working with. So I'm not gonna dilly-dally anymore. So today's episode, I decided to do an episode about taking effective breaks, because I feel like there are two. Okay, the word break can be very general, and there's a break in the sense that you're walking away from an assignment completely, or maybe you're not leaving, maybe you're still where you are, and you're just not focused on what the task at hand. You're taking, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And then there's a break where you, I'm sorry, leave mentally, physically, like you get up and go away from your workspace. And both of those can be utilized as an effective break if you do productive stuff while on it. And that's what this episode is about. So without any further ado, I have, 6 tips for you all. So let's start. The first one would be to remove everything related to the task. So this would be more so the walking away one. If you want to take an effective, based off of my experience, one way to take an effective break is to remove everything related to the task. So if you're working on a laptop, for example, save everything related to that task. If you're working in Word, make sure it's saved. If you're working in like a Google tab or something like that, and it's savable, save it and log out, close the tab. If not, open a new window and don't work in the tab that you were using to do work in. But yeah, just try, if you're not working on a computer and you're working with notebooks and pens and paper, put everything up. Close the notebook, put it in a desk drawer, put it off to the side, get rid of everything related to whatever you were doing. Just remove it from your vision. The next tip that I have is, and this depends on the how long your break is gonna be. Don't take a nap. Unless you're like, so I guess the only exception to this would be if you're taking a break between classes, because at work, obviously, you can't really sneak off and take a nap. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know where you work, but most people can't sneak off and take a nap. So if you're taking, if you have a break between 2 classes, as a college student, I'm going to say go for it, do it. But if you're taking a break between, if you're trying to take a nap between assignments, I don't suggest doing that, because one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to wake up late and not want to do anything, or you're going to wake up late and the assignment will be due in an hour. So don't try not to take a nap. Plus, you're not really being productive, and I understand that the whole point of a break is to not be productive, but the way I see it, a break is to not be productive towards whatever you were doing, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain it past that, but yeah. So don't try whenever you're taking a break, try not to take a nap. Use that time to do something else, and by something else, I don't mean another assignment. I mean, you can. I'm like I said, I'm just going based off of personal experience. So you can use that time to work on another assignment, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just try not to take a nap. Find something else to do that isn't homework surrounded, or however your life goes. The next tip that I have is when you're on breaks, and this is for the smaller breaks, not like a lunch break or something like that, but when you're on like smaller, like 10-15 minute breaks, try not to eat junk food. This is because for years we've been taught that junk food is not good for our bodies, and if you eat junk food on a break, whenever you come back from that break, you're not going to want to do the work. Like, you're going to want to, obviously the want will be there, but you're not going to feel like it, because the junk food, it gave you that initial sugar rush or whatever type of rush the food gave you, and then now you don't have that rush anymore. After about 30-40 minutes, it's not going to be there. So you want to try to do one of two things: to either not eat at all and drink water and juices and stuff like that, or if you do want to eat, try to eat healthier things like celery sticks, maybe carrots, popcorn. And I don't mean drown it in like the different flavored salts and stuff like that, but yeah, try not to eat greasy fried stuff like that. Yeah, so the next tip is to find something that doesn't require much brain power. I know for me personally, when I take a break from something, I'm going to go do something that is using the same amount or maybe slightly less than what I was using previously on a homework assignment. And I guess my thought process for doing that, my reasoning would be, I don't want to lose that momentum, but I do need a break from what I was doing. So like, I want to keep my brain power level at a 10, but I don't want to keep that 10 focused on an assignment. I want to focus that 10 on something else. I hope that makes sense, but don't do that. I need to stop, and I've been trying to stop. Don't do that. You need to go find something else to do. Scroll. I wouldn't suggest doing this because it's like a rabbit hole, but get on TikTok, watch a YouTube video. That's a really great way of not only using less brain power, but also timing your break, because YouTube videos obviously have a set time. But do something that doesn't require a lot of brain power. Don't take a break from an assignment, work or school, and then go work on I don't know, a crossword puzzle. Don't do that. And I mean, for some people, crossword puzzles might not require a lot of brain work, but for me it does. So are you getting the analogy here? That's the best I can explain it. Try not to do something of equal brain power. The next tip, and this is for the people who do a lot of work on computers, phones, iPads, anything with the screen shining back at you. On your breaks, try not to do something involving a screen. Now, I know I just said to go watch a YouTube video or TikTok, and both of those involve screens. And for me specifically, I'm constantly in a screen. I am a paperless student, so everything I do involves either my laptop or my iPad. And my phone, if I don't want to close out the note-taking app I'm in to Google something really quickly or to look up a definition. But you don't want to do that. Try not to, when you're on a break, do something that involves a screen if you've been working on a screen for a while. I'm not sure if any of you have heard of it, but there is this thing called blue light that radiates from screens. I know specifically it's really bad from computers. I'm not sure about, pretty sure it comes from it, but I'm not sure about phones and like iPads and TVs. But like I said, I'm just not sure. So even though I just said to go do something like watch YouTube or TikTok, only do that if you're not really straining your eyes, and B, if you don't have to stare at a screen for prolonged periods of time. So if you've been staring at a screen, say for some reason you push through a 4-hour study session, have planned an hour break, and then you're going to do another 2 or 3 hours after the hour break. The whole first 4 hours you've been staring at some type of screen, whether it's phone, iPad, computer, TV, you've been staring at a screen. On that hour break, if you want it to be effective, effectively taking a break from what you're doing, try not to watch TV or YouTube videos or TikToks. Give your eyes a break from that blue light, and just having something shining back into your face. Because even if you turn your screen down to turn the screen brightness down to whatever the lowest value is, the blue light's still there, the screen's still there. Try to just eliminate completely the issue, and everything should be okay. I'm not a doctor, so don't take my word for that, but it'll give your eyes a break. Your eyes won't feel like they've been glued open or taped open or something like that. So give your eyes a break. Honestly, for the scenario that I just gave you, the 4 hours, hour break, 3 hours, the best thing for you to do would be to close your eyes. I'm not saying take a nap, but just lay there with your eyes closed. Give your eyes some time to reset from staring at a screen for 4 hours, and some time to prep for another 2 to 3 hour, however long you plan on going. But yeah, and then my last tip. Sorry, it's still early. My body hadn't completely woken up yet. But my last tip would be to go for a walk or to leave your work area. And I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but we're going to continue using the 4 hour, 1 hour, 3 hour scenario from the last tip. If you've been sitting at your desk for 4 hours, your body's not happy with you right now. Trust me, from personal experience, your body's not happy with you. You have been sitting still for 4 hours plus, because I'm not gonna lie, I've sat at my desk for longer than 4 hours before. Last night, for example. But your body does not like that. Your body is meant to move. You need to get up. It doesn't have to be for long. Like for me, if I live on campus. Something that could get my body, moving and readjusted to, being alive and actually able to move, would be to walk from one end of my dorm to the other. And I don't mean my dorm room. I mean literally the building. I live on the very last room. Like, my window points outside. So I'm sorry. I am so sorry. My room is on one end of the building, and one way that I could, do something, get my body moving would be to go all the way to the other end and back. It's not a lot, but if I know I don't have time to, go outside for a 30-minute stroll or something like that, then that's a quick 5-minute thing that I can do just to get my body moving again, so I can either prep to sit another however long, or, it's just giving my body exercise, something like that. But yeah, and then leaving your area. Sometimes you either don't have the area to go walk down the hall of a whole building, and maybe you hadn't been sitting that long and you just need, a quick 5-minute break to get up and, move around. Just stand up, turn your back on your workspace and stretch. If you don't want to walk or don't feel like walking, just simply walking away from your desk, maybe into another room, another area of your little office area, wherever you have your desk. Just doing something as simple as literally getting up and leaving your desk area will help you have a more effective break and give you some time away from whatever task you had at hand. So, yeah, those are my tips for taking effective breaks. If you do all of these, some of these, the breaks that you have will be better suited to fit you and will help you be more effective in your work. So, like say for example, I have a long day of studying ahead of me, 8 hours. If I want my breaks to be effective, then I would on my first break, I would just completely get away from my desk, and I would probably go get something, I don't know, definitely be looking away from my screens, doing stuff to make sure that the time that I am away from my assignment, I'm not wasting it just, doing nothing, if that makes sense. Like I'm being productive on my break. So that's what you want to do. You want to be productive on your break. That way your break is effective. So when you get back to whatever you're doing, you're ready to go. Mindset's there, brain power's there. You can just sit back down like nothing happened. But yeah, those are my tips for you all this week. And honestly, I wasn't expecting to be sitting here this long talking. I didn't realize when I plan these episodes out, I don't write down a script. I jot down topics and things that I want to talk about. But I didn't realize I had that much to say about taking effective breaks, and I have a lot more to. I could even, I think I might do that. Give you, a quick episode on how to structure your breaks based off of, what you're doing, like how long they should be, what you should be doing during those breaks, even though I kind of touched on that here, but stuff like that. But yeah, that is all that I have for you all this week. Thank you all so much for listening. Don't forget to share this with a friend. Maybe they need a couple tips on how to take effective breaks, and look at you have the information now. So like I said, thank you all so much for watching. I've been doing YouTube recently, and that's all that's on my mind right now. The intro and outro for that, at least. So let's try this again. Thank you all so much for listening this week, and I will see you all next week with a new episode. Bye. Thank you all so much for listening this week. If you have any questions, comments, stories, or tips, and you'd like to share them with me, email me at selfcarebgirl@gmail.com. If you'd like to help other people find this podcast, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes to help get the word out. If iTunes isn't your preferred method of listening, you can also find us on Spotify, YouTube, and many more streaming platforms. If you'd like to interact with other listeners or keep up with announcements and giveaways, you should follow me on Instagram at selfcareblackgirls. Join the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/selfcareblackgirls, or follow me on Twitter at selfcarebgirls. Don't forget, you all still have the option to donate by either visiting my Patreon link or my merch link in the bio of my Instagram and Twitter. Thank you all so much for listening, and I will see you all next week. Bye.